You mentioned the book.
Break.
You briefly mentioned the book earlier. What? Tell us more about the book.
It's a short book, man. You know, I didn't want to make it too long.
Hey, that's one bathroom trip for me.
Come on now.
I get that out of there.
That's 2 boo-boos.
Yeah, that's 2 boo-boos. That's 2 going there in the morning, then come on that evening.
We need you encouraging my son's generation for black liberation.
We on again. I hope you listening closely. We doing our own thing, but we doing this for the culture. Check out the topic. Don't be the subject. We keep it poppin'. You can be up next. We are more than culture. More than culture. We are more than culture.
And this is the More Than Culture Show. Kamal, the Secret Genius.
Reemo Rod.
Ronnie Jordan.
Special
guest host.
Special brother
Hey man, I just
to the
happen
culture.
to be in the area.
God dang, you know what I'm
Clayton English,
saying?
you know what it is.
You know what time it is.
Tyler Chronicles is getting some rest, man. He's working hard at the radio.
Shit.
Waking up at the crack of dawn, coming
Right.
off the road.
Flying all types of shit.
Yeah.
And you know how we started off. Come on, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. So we like the person who is more familiar with the guest to make the introduction.
Yes, sir.
So I met this brother. I think I was still in college. You guys know that my dad's an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
They had a firm at that time called Axum, Adams and Secret. Mawuli.
Say it one more time. What was it?
Axum, Adams and Secret.
AAS.
Oh, that's what you was looking for?
I just wanted to get it right.
And they had this young brother. I'm not sure how recently he had come out of law school, but he was working there, and then eventually that firm dissolved. My father went back into his own practice, and I remember, and I'm not even sure if you know this, I remember my dad came and asked me, because I was working at the office even back then. My dad came and asked me, he was like, what do you think about Miley, the young brother Miley? Because I'm thinking about asking him if he wants to move with me. And I was like, no, that's a very cool young attorney. You know what I'm saying? I think that would work. I think that you should do that. And they ended up for years sharing office space. He has since gone on to develop one of the most well-known practices in the city of Atlanta, specifically as it comes to civil rights and advocacy. And that person is attorney Miley Davis. So give it up for Miley Davis.
In the culture. Yes, sir. Esquire.
That nigga gave you a goddamn Marcus Garvey welcome, brother.
I'm about to crowd the intro. I'm like, he
nigga
did all that.
So I met this young brother when I was boiling peanuts.
Now, let me tell you the real way it happened.
Give us the real shit, man.
I straight up, his pops, one of the best to do it in terms of criminal defense attorneys. And I was like, one of the things I'm big on, man, is trying to be around people who can give you some guidance. And I was like, he was like, hey, man, I'm moving. It's like, can I go with you? I was on some straight up, hey, don't leave me now,
hold
man.
on.
Where you going?
But
where you going?
When your pops get ready to move, hey, wait, where you going, man? Let me ride with you.
Right.
So he was like, yeah, come on. And it was a blessing, man, because it just really showed me how to be about your business out here as a lawyer and move with integrity. Yeah. And a lot of those lessons over all those years, I just kept with me, and we'll hit them up, like, hey, that was back in the day. I was doing criminal. I didn't even know what to charge. I was like, hey, I'm facing this. What should I charge? He was like, well, I would charge this, but since you so new, you probably should charge this. You feel me? He's like, you better get low.
Right. Don't ask 17.5.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
He ain't sell that much dope. How much dope he sold?
You know what I'm saying? Shit, I don't know, bro.
He ain't really gonna have it. He ain't gonna have it.
And it
anyway.
stepped on. So, I mean, shit.
It wasn't good. It wasn't a good pack in the streets.
Yeah.
That's what's up. How did you get inspired to do law? Like, what got you into that space?
Man, I was at a conference. So I'm originally from the south side of Chicago.
South
So
Side,
you
South
repping
Side,
them Bulls.
South Side.
So
you know
that's
what it is. Come on,
that
man.
was them was the squad.
That's when you was in the
everybody
streets.
Yeah, we was hooping.
Yeah.
But I get to I moved to Philly. I was in the Navy, and I was in Philly, and I really kind of had a cultural renaissance. Just woke up like, hey, let's that was back when Afrocentric, African education movement, everything is kind of moving. And so I get in the movement, start working in the movement before law school, and I go to a conference in Baltimore, and I had just seen Chokwe Lumumba represent Tupac. And I was like, man, it's an interesting dude, African name, representing Pac. And then I show up at this conference with my mentor, really became my godfather, a brother named Conrad Worrell, who's now an ancestor, and he introduces me to Chokwe Lumumba. And he comes, he walking, this brother about 6'5", he had AAU basketball team.
D1 prospect.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
it was the hoop thing that tied it together.
You feel
too.
me?
And he was like, what's up, brother? And just that connection. I was like, oh, okay. Because in my mind, I thought I was going to just do, all of the people that I looked up to had PhDs. And that was like the lane, Dr. Clarks and the Dr. Jacob Carruthers of the world. But when I saw this lawyer, it made clear. I was like, yeah, my mom said she wanted to be a lawyer, but she couldn't, coming from the South Side. So this must be my path. It took 6 years after that for me to actually get to law school here at Georgia State. But that really, seeing him was like, oh, you can be a revolutionary and a lawyer? So that became my motto. And then when I got here, met Brother Akil, Tony Axum, and they were doing it at a high level. I was like, okay, I could find my way. I could make a living and fight for the people. That's dope.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was just gonna put this on you. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say Johnny Cochran when that goddamn OJ shit went down. You be like, that brother right there got, that's a cold
he was the number
motherfucker.
one black lawyer in the earth.
Quick.
Very fast. You got OJ off. OJ wrote a book talking about how he did it. I know Johnny
If
Cochran
I
like, for
would've
real,
did
my
it,
boy?
here's
That's what you
how.
do?
I remember where I was, like everything, you remember where
You
you
remember
were. I
where
was
you
in
were.
Spain. And
What?
we were waiting for the verdict because I was still in the Navy. And when the verdict came, my wife, this was all like, she was like, she working somewhere, so she couldn't yell too much. Finally, we done won.
Right.
Y'all was gonna punch somebody in there. I'd say something to me today. I would punch you in your face.
You're around too many
PX.
colonizers. You got to be a little low with you.
Man.
No, I was at
Applause.
Paideia. It was, the verdict came down during lunchtime, bro. Like, it was like a movie, huh?
Yeah, it was like it was a
it went
movie.
crazy.
Everybody, like because Paideia is not a traditional school. Like it's stretched out across the street in a bunch of different houses and buildings.
Oh shit.
But like
I didn't know that.
all
either.
of the black kids ran out into the street. Like so
Y'all had a mini freak.
it was
What
like
happened?
7 to 8 black kids running out of each building into the street, and then we all see each other, make eye contact, we run into each other and hugging and shit.
Y'all did a scene from
a
School
magical,
Days.
It was a magical moment, bro. That was 95.
Bruh, so no. Was it 95?
That's when the Rockets was going crazy. When the Rockets was doing their thing.
I was in ninth grade.
I was in high
in
school.
white school. They came in and told us sad than a motherfucker.
What they say?
Not guilty.
Yeah, now we watched
Not guilty.
We watched it, and
we watched it.
they made an announcement before. It's like, we don't want, regardless of what the verdict is, we don't want anybody celebrating or anybody to be overly emotional, take into account your fellow classmates or whatever. Man, when they said not guilty, bro, we went
I think we went crazy. It was it looked like the Wiz. It looked like
Hey.
at my school. It looked like the Wiz in the hallways. It was, can you feel a brand new day? Because it wasn't. I went to Ludlow at the time. It wasn't that many of us either. But
I was
we
at,
crunk up. I remember it. I remember going crazy during lunchtime.
bro, I was at Southwest Cab, bro. I remember that shit like it was yesterday.
School closed.
Everybody ran into the hallway. Even this white dude that was cool with everybody.
He better.
Everybody named Alex started high-fiving niggas.
I bet you want to make it
Got
home,
his
Alex.
ass whooped.
Oh
They
no!
whooped Alex's ass.
Oh, he tried to
He
step
was
in
like, bro,
on the
goddamn,
celebration.
like, no, I'm with you guys.
Guys.
No justice, no peace.
Can we all just get along, guys? So what would
Yeah.
you tell like a young kid that would like he wants to be in the movement, but I see the power in being an attorney because some people just think you could just tweet.
Oh,
man.
man, that's what the
They
whole.
think they can make memes and that's it.
Yeah, that's what the book that is about is how do we invite people into the movement to find their space, right? Because man, so much of this is like, the only way you're in the movement is if you're out protesting every day, or the only way you're in the movement is if you just telling everybody to go vote. But this struggle is on so many different levels.
Because I don't feel like I should be walking every time in the movement. I take a clerical role when it comes to.
You got one march in you?
If I was with Martin and them, I'd be like, y'all go on and do it. I'm gonna be at the office. But
I got some accounts.
they calling death threats in. I gotta get it because they gonna call the death threats in so I can take down who said it. But y'all go do that. I got it.
So yeah, I think it's you just gotta find one of the things, man, is you figure out what your gift is, and then you do two things with it. One, you be able to take care of your family, but two, you serve the people with it. And I think what y'all do in terms of through comedy, through media, it's a platform that you can educate people that, man, I could go give 100 speeches, but I'm not gonna reach who y'all reach.
Facts.
Right? Y'all got a whole audience that's like, hey, let me tune in, see what they on. And y'all helping raise consciousness and broadening people's perspective so they can understand. Don't be on that narrow, the only way you can be in the movement is this, and you gotta look like this, and you gotta wear this. I done seen folks in African clothes, sellouts. I done seen cats dressed to the T.
Come on now.
Sell
out.
And they, it just
Wrong.
You just don't know. You just gotta be authentically who you are, and it's gotta be grounded in Black struggle and the movement and like be on the team. We call it being on the team for Black people, right? And you got to do that and do it every day, because every day you don't ride with us, you betray us.
Come on now.
Man.
That's real.
So, how did you feel when you saw? Did you see when I guess when Biden first got in office, when all the remember the congressmen, they put on the African print and did like a knee. It was just so. How do you feel when you see that patronizing type shit? They had kente cloth.
White folk can't wear kente?
But they took all these pictures, and it was like, man, we need legislation, bro. We need shit passed.
This is the first thing we passing.
Yeah, they doing
we doing kente Sundays.
That shit, we ain't even do that.
Yeah.
We don't even do that shit.
We don't need none of that, bro.
What's
There's no need to put a kente cloth on and do the Wakanda
And
sign.
do the Wakanda. Like, come on,
with two-piece signs. And
It's Atlanta every night. That's what
Man.
Wakanda is.
It's so much, being in the movement for almost 30 years, I've seen so many people come and go. They fade. It's almost like a what's in. It's style. It's people, the clout chasers, they doing it. Why they not doing it because they believe in it. They doing it because, is that what's in? All right, I'm gonna say this. We've been saying Black power. We've been saying white supremacy. We've been saying institutional racism. We've been saying reparations. We've been having those conversations for over 25 years. Now people like, yeah, reparations. Now it's we can have a conversation. Now it's safe to say white supremacy. We've been saying that's what it is. It's been white supremacy, and we were getting looked at like, we think you should probably use the word racism. It's like, nah. Right. It is. This is a white problem that y'all impose on all of us. All of us. Until we dismantle that system, we're gonna keep catching hell. And and people think it's just policing. It ain't just policing. It's education. It's media.
Systematic.
It's all through our living that we having to combat it. And that's why we got to keep breeding revolutionaries, keep building, and grounding ourselves in our understanding, man.
Because the whole Asian hate thing, it just took us back. Like, really?
Man.
Really?
They know as much as we go to American Deli and
Come on, dog. Just talk about it, bro.
Everything.
We rock with them.
We rock hard with the Asians. What?
We
get treated crazy?
Yeah, you got people like Ben Baller. He said what he said, which kind of made sense. And yeah, man, like to put that on us, if it is adopted from what y'all have started with y'all propaganda to get people gaslit into thinking that, You know what I'm saying? So.
And then, but they got a legislation passed. I didn't know that. They got the Asian hate bill passed immediately.
Like immediately?
They said it was Dr. Umar saying it was 200 bills against crimes with black people. None of them got passed. Emmett Till bill ain't been passed. Like nothing.
So what is our problem? Like is it they? I mean, all right. I know they don't want us in there. They don't want us in there. They don't want us to speak. They don't want us to raise our hand to talk. But how can we overcome that for real? Like, it seems like my mom was talking about this shit.
Right.
My mom's mom was talking about this shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's the think about two roads, right? Two roads to travel. One road has been the road of Frederick Douglass, the road of Dr. King. It's more of we want to really, really, really be a part of this. And then there's another road of Martin R. Delaney and Marcus Garvey and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and that's the road we have not fully traveled of. Let's build our own shit, and then we deal from a place of power versus begging y'all. Right. Why we keep begging people? Hey, can you let us in? Man. Let's build our shit like y'all built something. Right. Y'all not saying, hey man, NBC put me on.
Right.
Put yourself on.
Put yourself.
Right. Put yourself
That's
on.
That's a T-shirt.
Build shit. Build your stuff.
Own yourself.
And it's
own yourself.
Yeah. Where is it at?
Where is it at? It's somewhere around here.
Yeah, we can't be free until they stop selling us. They make so much money and profit off of our culture. And until we take ownership of ourselves and ownership of that intellectual property, we never gonna be free because we too valuable to somebody else. And that's all it's about.
Own yourself. That's what's up. And that's what I think we spending too much, because you only got so much energy. And we spend so much energy trying to get down with them and not recognize our power is in being authentically ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do what y'all do the way y'all do, and if I tried, y'all be like, man, this dude fronting. But if I'm authentically Mawuli Davis, can't nobody outdo that.
Period.
And that's us as African people of African descent. Quit imitating folks who you imitating somebody and they learn all of their stuff from you to begin with. It's just like, it's stupid, but
it's very dumb.
Yeah, so we just got to grind.
I got to ask you something. Did you see the tape of the guy getting arrested? He got his camera like this, and he's like, y'all, they're unlawfully, they open his door, they unbuckle his seat belt, and he said, you're going to get a whooping on national TV or something. Like the cop is in his face.
Wait a minute. Not the Army vet.
Not the Army vet, but there was another guy.
Man,
there's
so
many, bro.
But the cop had his door open. The dude, it was an expired inspection sticker. That's what the violation was. It's a cop got his door open, his seatbelt's still on. It's another cop next to him. It's another cop in there. He was like, "These guys aren't stopping it. I'm being violated. My rights are being violated like this." He was like, "If you don't come out this car, I'm about to make it a long day for you." And just went to wailing on this man with his phone. Like you seen his phone go crazy, and they just released the footage. They fired the guy, but like, don't we have rights at all? Like,
bruh, what's so crazy is that it happens so often. The only ones that are making it now are the most sensational.
The most
like
sensational.
if a black cop break your arm, man, that ain't gonna make TV.
That ain't gonna make shit.
But the system that's we keep thinking that this is it's an individual bad cop. The system says your life is I can beat you, and I'm good because you're a criminal by birth.
And I'm protected by blue, bro.
And then qualified immunity, all the immunities, they protect the officers. So what we see, man, we turn cases down all the time. And it's like people who've gotten beat down, but we just can't take them because we handling people who've been paralyzed, killed. You know, like you dealing with a family and their loved one has been murdered by the police. You don't have time to be like, man, I know they broke your arm and it was foul, but you know, let me try to refer you to somebody else. That's how often they are laying hands on us, and there's no repercussions. And that's across the country. I deal with all these lawyers from around the country who do this. Man, everybody is like, and it's up, right? In Georgia, it was 82 in 2019. During the pandemic, it went up to 94. We on right now. Georgia is on, and I'm talking about deaths at the hands of police. We're on track to do over 100
Deaths by police.
deaths by police. They will kill 100 people this year in 2021
In the state of Georgia.
in the state of Georgia alone. It's 1,000 a year across the country. So just do the numbers.
And how many of them are black?
That shit
I
worse than
remember
COVID numbers, nigga.
What? That's
65%, 70% black. And when I say most of it, folk having mental health crises, and we represent so many people who, you know, they having a mental health crisis and they people call like, man, let me call for help. And that ain't help.
Right.
You really
You
damn
calling
near
the
calling
executioner.
for
Right.
execution. You know, because they just don't deal with this. And they'll go through hell to protect white life. You could be
sir.
a straight up mass murderer.
I saw a dude with a gun.
With a
talking
gun,
to the police
talking,
doing
yeah.
this, and they're like, sir. And I'm like,
Please
"Fam,
put it down."
Y'all would have
Man.
shot us from the car. And came and scooped the bodies up.
But
But that's
holding
you know,
some toenail clippers.
That's what I have a son on the spectrum, and that's one of my biggest fears. Like when he gets super tall and he has a bad day, like
Yep.
does that mean he get to die? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's
Man,
fucked up.
It's serious. That's why we got to build. We got to build spaces where we're safe. You know,
Yeah.
that's what we talk about. Even with our work with Black Man Lab, is building safe and sacred spaces for Black men and Black people, where we know if we come in this space, we good. And that's just so rare, man, because so much of our time we spent is in hostile situations. When we send our kids to school, that's how, you know, our kids are going into hostile environments for the most part. Even if they go to all black school, the curriculum is violent against black people.
Yeah.
Because they teaching them like, oh, you know, the whole curriculum is saying
Bullshit.
you're less than.
Right.
You know, and so
You know the only sacred place for a black man is the trap.
Yeah.
A nigga feels so safe in the trap, be like, hey, bro, ain't nobody coming up in this motherfucker. Now, I wish a nigga would, because we got down straight. We straight.
Yeah,
I was
man.
gonna ask you because I had one time this cop. You stupid.
You stupid as hell, bro.
One time I had a cop pull me over and he made me show him my titties and
man,
what? Violated.
pull them out.
Let me see him. He made me put him on the glass from the outside. Stop it, sir.
Oh, no, that's not.
We'll find out a way to sue him.
Right.
What department?
What department, bro?
Hilarious.
So we
How you
just
feel about Victor Hill getting indicted?
Victor Hill.
Man, bro. Oh.
Small town, baby. Don't.
And he
don't
started
mess
doing the
your
Stevie
mind up.
Wonder. He started
Yeah.
Hill still got goons out here, boy.
It's a ribbon in the sky.
It's crazy. I've been. I had to go down to Clayton County Jail 3 weekends in a row. We got a civil rights case, not related to him. So a client that we had to get some paperwork signed. And I was going down there. I was like, man, they really run this like a military, a paramilitary. You know, I'm coming in, and they were like, sir, no, sir, and jumping and all of that. And I was like, wow, this is
That's
different,
him?
man.
Yeah.
He
It's
changed that
real.
whole Clayton County thing around.
It's real different. And I don't know that, you know, I hadn't looked at the statistics. I don't know that it stopped crime.
Yeah, it's
You
just
know,
he did.
Clayton County go out of their way. They stopped me on the jet bridge at the Delta Airport.
What?
At the
Jet
airport?
bridge. This is once I've been through TSA and everything.
They just
Like,
did that. You saw
to
him.
Eric Andre. Yeah, I
Yeah.
talked to him about
What
that
happened?
because they had done it to me. They stopped me. It was a tall Asian officer and a short black one. It was like a reverse rush hour. I wish I was making this shit up. It was Jackie Tucker and Chris Chan. Okay? So Jackie Tucker and Chris Chan pulled out the the badge, but they had it around their neck like Bad Boys, the first one, and he held it up. And he was like, we're with Clayton County narcotics program. We're wondering, do you have any drugs? I'm going to LA.
Where the drugs at?
I'm not taking drugs to LA.
What are we even searched after?
Dog, I'm on the jet bridge getting on the plane. I want to protest. You know, I done been in the Delta Lounge. You know, same thing as there. You know, I'm like, man, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they search it. Then they like, Oh, okay, then they ask you all them little goofy questions, you know. Man. Oh, so where you going? What do you do? I'm a comedian. Oh, you going to do a show? No, bitch, I got a place out. What are we doing right now?
Can I go on a plane? What is this?
So they searched my thing, and then they was like, all right, you could go ahead. So I go and I sit down, and I'm like, are they about to come yank me off this plane? Because I'm thinking that's what they going to do. They going to let the plane load and then come back and come get me.
That's
but
PTSD,
they didn't
brother.
ask nobody else after me, it seemed like, and I ain't seen nobody before me get stopped. And it was just, they out there.
Like
trifling.
Recently, because
they
just did
that to him like last week.
They did that to him last week.
And they did it to me probably, I say, about, where we at now? About 4 months ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
Bro, you're a revolutionary.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are, bro.
Oh,
Let me tell you why.
On the roof, you with the roof
This brother
boys?
was on the roof.
Stop.
Can I can't. All right, I ain't gonna talk about it.
Look, I don't belong up there.
I'm just trying to get you to the Garveyites.
Look, man.
We here,
Brother,
We got applications, bro. This brother got a book. We about to give you.
As much as I,
come on,
as
man.
much as I would like to be a revolutionary, I didn't even plan on protesting that day.
You just outside.
I just saw the protest go past my window, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go out there." And I went out there. I had protested the other day, but I was like, I'm.
That was your day off.
Yeah, I was off. I was like, man, we walked like hell, boy. I didn't even know Los Angeles had this many hills. So we was walking up here. I said, where the fuck this hill come from? Like, who is leading this march? Let's get on the flat ground.
They would have got me with still. You still got to talk while you walking.
Talk while you walk.
Y'all saying words still.
I'm just gonna clap.
Yeah.
No, y'all going without me, bro. I'm gonna be in the back. I'm gonna play the back.
So I saw it was the time, like this was after they had looted everything, gone crazy in LA. And this was like the day or two after that. Protests came at my house and go out there. They blocked off everything. The curfew was at 6. I went out like 5:45. I wasn't paying attention to no curfew. I saw all these people out there.
The sun's outside.
The fuck? And you grown.
The neighborhood was out. The problem I made was I turned the corner. I should have stayed on my street. Right? Everybody was on their street. I turned the corner, turned another corner, turned the corner. I got one more right to make, and I'm back in front of my building. The police block off that area. Some people just started laying down. I said, they must have got shot with rubber bullets already because they just giving up easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I'm not going in, but I got my girl with me. Mm-hmm. And she, all I heard was some gravel slides. She done fell, gravel in the hair. I'm like, we not gonna make it. I'm trying to find a way out of here. So a white lady comes out like, well, you can come in my building. You guys can come in. She's like, you guys can't be in the halls, but you can be on the roof. I'm like, bitch, that's back outside. So now we on the roof. Helicopters show up. Start circling the roof. This bitch on the roof with her phone out talking about we're gonna be on the news. I said, bitch, that was not my goal. That is never my goal.
To be on press.
To wake up and be like, no, I'm trying to be on the news today.
Right.
Like, I don't never think like that. So, man, she let us up there. Eventually, the helicopters went around for a minute. It flew off. Everybody cheered. Another one showed up. I said, oh, they using resources. Like, it was a little black dude, looked like Richard Simmons. He was like, he was trying to pep talk everybody.
Richard
like,
Simmons? Like that workout dude?
Yeah, man. He was like, guys, we're going to fight. We're going to run. We're going to spell BLM on this roof. And then, like, he dropped down
with
and did
your
the beat by
bodies.
himself. Like, no, like, literally. They tried to, they didn't finish the M. We were on the news, everything. They eventually came up, took us to jail, and it was just inconvenience to everybody.
And every comedian was looking for Clayton. We had lawyers, niggas.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Niggas activated,
They might
boy.
have called you. I'm sorry if they called you.
Twitter turned.
I tweeted you twice. You didn't respond.
My fault.
Okay.
He was in LA though. He was, yeah, he was in LA. He was,
We go worldwide.
yeah,
Girl
he turned
world.
up.
I believe it, but nah, man.
You done with the revolution?
No, I mean,
Revolution's not done with him.
The thing is, I've been to jail before. Like, it's
Right, it ain't
once
fun.
you get it out the way,
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to jail for a couple
It
hours.
still ain't
let's
fun.
go.
I
It ain't fun,
Yeah, I don't
but
care how
it's
we-
like you start knowing the process,
Mm-hmm.
and you like, hey, get me there. What the fuck you doing?
Cross
stopping
me
for
over,
coffee?
dog.
Hey, let's go.
Get me out this intake, bruh.
Right. This seat
Can I
is
make
not
a call?
comfortable. This seat is not comfortable.
Let's go. No,
Bro, I got pulled over. The cop took the phone. They was like, you're going to have to write some numbers on your arm. And he gave me a pen, bro, and let me write numbers So all cops ain't bad. I just want to put that out.
He ain't bad because he let you write that. Let you write that number on your.
He let me
ain't
write.
No telling what he did the rest of his shift, but he let you write. He let you scribe.
But that permanent marker that he let me got.
But you got to call your girl.
Yeah,
you
that's
remember
that's all I need.
That's all that
Every
matters.
time you slap a black dude, he let a black dude write his number on his arm. That's my slap word.
You mentioned the book.
Write the number.
You briefly mentioned the book earlier. What? Tell us more about the book.
It's a short book, man. You know, I didn't want to make it too long.
Hey, that's one bathroom trip for me.
Come on now.
Get that out of there. I get that out of there.
That's 2 boo-boos.
Yeah, that's 2 boo-boos. That's 2 going there in the morning, then come on that evening.
We need you encouraging my son's generation for black liberation. So it's really written to young. I started writing it when my oldest was on the way to Howard. I'm on the plane. I started doing an outline for it. I'm like, man, I need to make sure this cat, because that's where, at like 22, 23, I started getting into the movement. So I was like, man, let me start jotting some stuff down for him and his guys. So I do an outline. It takes me 4 years to write this. So, clearly I wasn't very focused on it. But so I just start going through it, and it's really grounded on 2 things. One, knowing who we are. That's where your power lies, and knowing who we are as a people, our history, our culture, being rooted in that. That just changed everything for me. And then the other part of it is knowing that this system is at war with us, and it's a white supremacist system that's at war. And if we don't know that it's at war and it's like literally coming at us, then we do a disservice to our children. It's like not telling your kid that fire's gonna burn you. It's gonna burn your ass, and the system will burn you up. Thanks. And if you're not educated about it, you sending your child to the wolves. And they're like, they start thinking like, damn, something's wrong with me. Nah, the system is fucked up.
Right.
And because the system is fucked up, it has us thinking that we at a deficit.
Right.
Nah, we gotta create our own thing so that it's clear that, man, with what we've been through, like just right here, this conversation, this would have broke most other people. We survived. They really thought we'd be out of our mind by now. And some of us are. But for the most part.
No, we are. Yeah. It's some PTSD that we need to address.
Oh, no.
It's a lot of
just
PTSD.
Being black.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
I didn't kick
under
up
fire.
I didn't know I had so many suppressed memories about being pulled over so much until the George Floyd shit happens. I've been doing colleges from like 06 to 2020.
Yeah.
And I stopped counting at like 100, but we was getting pulled over for stupid shit. We got pulled over in North and South Dakota, and I really would have been cool with the officer saying, I ain't never seen no black people around here. Let me see what y'all got going instead of making up some shit. Like, and then my homeboy, he's more aggressive, so it was fucking with him bad. Like, it was really, I had to really talk to him like, yo, you good, man? Because that shit, it's like because it kept happening. It just kept happening. They just would do the same thing. It was so routine. We would be like, when we getting pulled over, I'd be sleepy, wake me up. I'd be like, we going to this school. Our hotel is here. We just came from here. I make sure I got a flyer somewhere, and then I had to tell him because they always take him out the car, ask him where we going, then come ask me where we going, like we lying or something. And I've had officers tell me, well, this van I bought. This van is registered to a Tahoe in Georgia. I'm like, well, I've been bought this. Here go the title. This mine, Yeah. So they do all this searching and all this shit. And he was like, oh, I typed in the number wrong on the license plate. I was like, oh, really?
Bet you did.
Bet you did.
Yeah, man.
So that,
but
I've had over 100 of them instances, and I'm like, well, goddamn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And when they get you out of that car, you don't know. When they say, sir, will you step out? You're like, okay, which way is this going?
Which way, bro?
Y'all gonna take me? Or y'all getting ready to shoot me?
Or take me,
you like, and the thing is, we do all of these, all the time we do these Know Your Rights seminars with young people. And I always tell them, I say, look, what we teaching right now, I hope it works, but there's no guarantee. There is no perfect, you do this, and you'll survive.
Right.
You know,
But if you funny, it do help, boy.
so you crack some jokes on me.
Nigga, I know I had weed on me. I know I got it on my
I
nuts.
hate that right there.
Yes,
Ooh.
sir.
I
Wee.
hate that. Well, tell me a joke.
Yeah, I don't
man.
like to tell me a joke, but I'll kind of start the shit. Like if they, where you going to comedy show? They're like, oh, really? You gonna? And I might just,
go
are you
in.
gonna talk about this? Hell yeah, I'm gonna talk about this. That's what I always say that. I'm like, oh, you're definitely going instead tonight because this is wrong. Like I say that shit like today. Like you going to jail because you ain't gonna find no dope in here. You gonna find cookies.
Cookies,
All kind of cookies, rappers and shit. And I'm wasting y'all. Y'all
Oreos and
wasting.
the chocolate
It's 5
chip.
squad cars here. You got a chief here. You fucking up.
Right.
They gonna fuck you up when you get
Right.
back.
You call this in?
Right.
I had them niggas
the
unscrew all my
kingpin?
shit in my van before and run the camera like the little
Oh.
Oh,
tube
that's
camera
crazy.
that go up. I'm like, man, y'all done untook. You know how long
They
it
thought you had a cartel.
nigga, they
gutted
thought I was
Right.
trafficking. Yes. I don't know what it is about when you cross from North Carolina to Virginia.
Oh yeah.
It's happening. They coming. Virginia coming. They waiting for that shit.
In the classes you teach, know your rights. Give us 2, just that maybe our
Give us 2.
Yeah. Now,
I mean, our people might need to know the rights.
The first one is
This nigga right. Give me 13,
when you
motherfucker.
get
know what I'm
pulled
saying? Like,
over-
give me all of them.
Let them give them.
No, nigga, I'm goddamn rebutting your 2, bro. What you talking about?
You didn't ask for
I'm
2.
rebutting your 2, brother.
If you say the
the
players, they'll
first
let you
thing
go.
not to say is I know my rights. And we say that I don't say I know my
that.
rights.
What?
Because
Don't say
that sets them off.
Yeah, that just sets a certain
trigger.
tone.
But what people don't understand is you don't have to consent to a search. Now, if they say I smell the odor of raw or burnt marijuana, then they gonna search your car, and you
Anyway.
can't stop them. But you don't have to ever consent to a search. They could say, "Well, I smell." So, well, I'm not consenting to a search, and so we got to have our language together. So you have to say, "I don't consent to a search." We talk about saying it in a respectful way. I don't have to go at you to exert my rights.
Right.
If I know them, all I got to do is just, hey, I don't consent to a search, sir. That's, so you search my car.
What if a nigga be like,
It's
spell
not-
consent?
I'm not consenting.
I got a question. Because I've done this before, and this pissed the police off. I said, don't you need a warrant? And he was like, oh, yeah, we can get a warrant. You want a warrant?
He started
Go
shaking
get
his
a warrant.
head.
Oh, a warrant's no problem. I was like,
He needs a warrant.
They get triggered easily.
What they say, wipe that other name out and put his name. Hold on, let me
Right.
put his name.
Fact.
yeah.
Now, so if they say they smell, most of the time that's the excuse.
got
That's
the
their
right.
excuse.
The excuse
they
is
got
I
it.
smell something,
Right.
and then they start the search process, so they don't need a warrant for none of that.
And you can't tell them it's their top lip. They don't like that.
They don't
either.
like that.
It's the other car you
I
just
smell
searched.
something. Nigga, it's your
earlier.
musty ass lip. Boy. I'm in the back of the car now.
And then the other thing is, people have to, if they tell you, to step out of the car, no matter what the offense, you have to step out of the car. And so I've had people who were like, man, I'm not getting out. I didn't do nothing. And then that just escalates it, right? Because they get to say, step out of the car for officer safety. And then they get to pat you down.
How is that safe for them? I guess because you're going to be
Separating
busting out
you
the
from your
car.
gun.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess
If it's
so.
a weapon in the car, they want to pull you out,
Yeah.
pat you down. But what we know is that all of the facts, all of the statistics, that black people are stopped more. That when we stop, we're asked to get out of the car more. That when we come out of the car, they search us more. They search our vehicles more. They arrest us more. And then when we're arrested, the sentences are harsher. All of that, so that's all statistically. So that's how you end up with over 2 million people in prison and in jails. And so when you are incarcerating at that rate, when they interact, we the byproduct of it. The police brutality is just because we start to separate like, oh, mass incarceration over here and police brutality. It's all this. It's all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a matter of touches. If you're gonna
the
get
same
2
machine.
million, it's the same
Yeah.
machine.
If
And
you
it
would
just
stop
plays
them
out.
more, you would find
You
some.
would come-
Oh, yeah.
They be having real drugs.
Oh,
that
man.
you not
They be
supposed
drunk
to.
all
Police,
type
white
of
people
shit.
be having real drugs.
And hard stuff.
drugs.
Real drugs.
Right.
They don't grow out the ground.
For real, the
Drugs
breaking
that just came out.
the ones
just
they make
came out.
series is about, like
Fentanyl.
Breaking Bad, that kind of shit. They got a whole shit. Breaking Bad, Heisenberg never got pulled over. You know that shit? He had all that shit on him.
Right.
They never got pulled over.
Not even once.
Dusty ragged ass didn't even get pulled over.
Yeah, so we was talking before the pod about me coaching
Yeah, man.
the boys, man.
Coaching.
Because that was one of, outside of just being two cool dudes, that was one of the things that we linked on.
Oh, the hoops.
Was hoop.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first time we had a discussion about basketball, you was talking about organizing the game, getting some people to come out. I was like, yo, it's like, y'all hooping? What's go? He was like, oh, you hoop? I was like, nah, bro, I'm a hooper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We went over to Campbell Middle
Campbell,
School
yeah.
in Smyrna. Campbell
Yeah.
Middle School. We opened up. Yeah, had a good run.
Some nice runs
Yeah,
out there.
we used to
I
get
think
some
that
good
gym
runs.
stayed open.
Man.
I don't know who had a key.
Right. And that used to be the thing.
Late as hell.
Man, that used to be the thing. Somebody like, man, I got a key to the gym.
Oh,
Shout out to all the
Hey, you got the key to the gym.
Try to-
100 dudes will show up at the. You like, man, where the key at? Where the key? You don't got the key.
Oh, that's crazy.
But the key to the gym was the
Oh,
joint.
man, that's the
And,
golden ticket.
We used to, man, we had our all African American young Catholic League school, and we hoop. Go into we go in there and we had a play called Garvey.
So y'all in the Catholic League, y'all
Playing
going to play
Duke.
these white boys.
We
at
going
these
to play
schools.
white,
all white school.
all
Your
over
play is called Garvey.
Alpharetta, all over.
The richest parts of
and
the
on top, like our 1, 2, 3 was Ubuntu. That was like our rally cry.
That scared everybody.
You know that white man was up there. Jesus Christ! Look, I swear to God, man, they did like an African cry.
He trying to look.
Them dudes up there, they did an African Yale, and all of them start dunking. I don't know what's going on.
Yale.
The whole team can dunk. Everybody's penis is hanging out of their shorts. I don't know what's going on. My son is 14, sir.
Well, it's crazy. This was the squads
young,
was
yeah.
we
This
had
was
the
third
third
and fourth
grade,
grade.
the third graders, third grade
Y'all
and
had the
fourth
third
grade
graders on the
squads.
military.
They was out
Ubuntu.
there. They was out there. Garvey. We was like, the parents, the black parents was like, Garvey.
Ooh, I just want to see the white parents cringing on that shit that they even knew who Garvey was.
Man, yeah, that was man.
What is that play though? Is it like when you push all the
Yeah,
white
what's the
kids
play?
down and you dunk on them? Like,
It's a hard Garvey.
Just clear out and just
Yeah,
let
man.
them use his
Kamal on the white boy.
athleticism.
Listen, bro, you learn
It's like ISO.
You set
you
set the screen on the collar.
basketball at that age, man. You gonna have 1 or 2 players that can actually hoop,
Right.
And then everybody else
set some
is
picks and
just,
get out the way.
yeah,
Right.
just you know what I'm saying.
Like an episode of Hang on Mr. Cooper. Then
yo, I was
That
a big time
kids
hooper until
playing.
I was 11.
Yeah. Okay.
I was a prodigy.
All right.
Phenom.
Oh, what, yo, with no M on there? You a
Nah,
phenom?
phenom. You know what I'm talking about? Nah. You know what I'm saying? I was quick as shit, bro. Nigga swift.
He had a jersey with no team on it. That's all.
That was New Birth.
It just said basketball on
He
it.
couldn't understand the dribble. He just take off running with the ball.
Yeah.
Reemo.
So where can people find the book?
Man, it's published by Third World Press
Okay.
out of Chicago, but also on my website, Mawuli, Mawuli Davis.com. Man, we've been getting a real good reception on it because it's from my heart. It's my purpose. You know what I mean? And when you can find a way to live out what you think you were sent here for. And that's all I'm encouraging my sons, their friends, all of us. It's just, man, find out how we can contribute, do your work, because we only got a limited amount of time. Give it your best, do your work, and keep moving. And so that's what it's all about, man. So I got some real nice reviews on the back from my man Kamati Carr. We met back in Philly back in the day. He's the chair of the African American Studies Department at Howard. I Can Yellow Moja wrote
Yes,
on the
sir,
back
Baba
from Georgia
AK.
State. Baba AK, that's my man.
That's my man.
Yeah. And then Sister Mary Hooks from Song, she been organizing, and then Melva Sampson, who's a professor up at Wake Forest. So it's been received. So what we did was, because the book is really about activating young people, we put together this project through the Black Man Lab, which is a nonprofit that some fathers co-founded. And what we did was use the book. We say center, collaborate, create. And so we got about 50 young people who read the book, and then we ask them to create music from it, do visual art, do spoken word, and then they're filming music videos. And so it's really just a way for them to embrace and learn something and then create from it. And man, they creating some crazy, I had to sing out some of the music.
That's
Yeah,
great.
for sure.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes people just need that direction or something that, all right, okay, now I got a reason to make it. Like,
And they taking beats, they taking their style, and they just incorporating, subtle consciousness. And it's not like, it's not preachy. It's
Right.
just like, we need you. So the anthem for the whole thing is like 7 or 8 young people who just heard this dope track that one of the young people in the project created, and then they just like jumped on it, put it together, and I'm learning, right? Because I ain't been in no studio like y'all do this, and I just was like, oh, this how y'all do this? So we got a kid in there, man. He'll just run that back. And he'll just, I'm like, where's the writing? Y'all don't write no more before you go in the studio?
Son, nah,
It's vibes. It's all
Unc. We don't do that, Unc. That shit crazy.
all
bro.
vibes,
Like, son.
Damn.
I just spit off the
And then
brains,
they
man.
just do it, and then the next thing you know, when they put the whole thing, I was like, oh, that's what you was doing. That's some dope shit. I didn't know how y'all do that. And so I'm learning on the film tip,
Hey,
learning on
they
the
have this
visual
thing
art.
called, they have like computers. And then so you click on it, and then you make a lot of music with it.
they be punching in.
And then you punch in. I'm just fucking with you.
Man,
They
do
make it faster to record though. They got it's like, you can do the effects and everything before you even start. They be
Right,
done.
they on the mic with the effects, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
that shit
man.
crazy.
So it's dope. It's dope, man. And I think being a part of it has inspired me more.
You about to drop a
do it.
mixtape.
No, the album
I'm
coming.
ready. I'm gonna come
Keep
back.
that legal
I'ma
shit,
come
son.
back. Nah.
Yo, Garvey.
Your rights.
Umbatu. Know your rights.
man.
Don't tell them you know your rights. Don't tell them you know your rights. That's the first one.
That's a hook. We can get that right.
Hey, come on now.
Yeah, man. But it's beautiful, man. I love what y'all doing.
Yes, sir.
This is dope, man, because,
Appreciate it, man.
one of the things we have to do, man, is be able to laugh.
Absolutely.
'Cause, and keep finding joy. One of the things about the whole, I didn't watch the Chauvin trial
Not a minute of
I
it.
didn't watch
Me
it.
Me
either.
neither. I just saw that.
because I'm
Deep.
living it. And so
Yeah.
many of us are living it, man. I couldn't do that to my spirit. But one of the things that, we all need is to be able to laugh. To be able to just have your boys where you can get with your guys and be like, oh, dude, and just trip. And this vibe, this energy, man, we need this.
what's up.
You might need to have a part in a comedy part for the young men, like somebody could do a set to that or something. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Get you 5 minutes together, do a skit, something funny to it.
You ever been pulled over and
Let's do that.
I know my rights, skit, nigga.
Let's
know
go.
my rights.
For real,
I
let's
know
do
my
that.
I know my mama had asked me.
my first right is not to say
Yeah,
that I know my
man,
rights.
Yeah,
Rest
we-
in
we
peace,
need to do that.
Dante Wright, man.
Man.
Jesus, it's just
Dante Wright.
It's and what's the young lady's name with the knife and all that?
Oh man, Sister Bryant.
Man,
And then
rest
we
in peace
just
to them,
right
man.
here we have Matthew Zadok Williams was killed
Yeah.
by the Cobb County Police on April 12th.
Rest in
Today
peace,
we
man.
just found out they're not going to indict these firefighters and police in the death of Jamon West. And then we opened up an office in Savannah. And so we got Julian Lewis, who was shot in Sylvania on August 7th, shot in the face by a trooper on point blank within a second of getting out of his trooper car. So it's so many of them, man. And that's my thing.
The kid in Cobb County.
Yeah, the kid, Vincent. Yeah, yeah. So the thing is, one of the things that we have to do is easy when you are talking about something happening in Minneapolis or somewhere, but when you're protesting about something happening in Georgia, then you kind of like, damn, that happened here. I might have to do more than just tweet about it. I may have to actually organize with some people. And we got some real good young organizers that have stayed out in the street, because we represent Messiah Young, the kid from Morehouse that him and the Spellman sister, they pulled out and tased him.
Oh man, it was on TV.
Yeah, so we represent him. And what I've been telling young people is like, yo, y'all don't understand, within 7 days of that going down, they arrested those officers. They terminated them. Now they're trying to bring them back. But that ain't on us. Like Chris Stewart, my man Chris Stewart represents Tanaya Pilgrim, the Spellman, and I'm like, that ain't on me or Chris, on our name or nothing. That's on young people being in the street. You know, the district attorneys and the elected officials knowing, hey man, if we don't do something, they're gonna tear this joint up. And that's why I believe that the verdict was gonna come down the way it was because unlike George Zimmerman, because I went to Florida and during the trial, because I wanted to see, I called back to the radio station. I'm like, he not gonna get convicted. We ain't out here. If we ain't in the street and there's the uncertainty
of disruption.
Yeah. Like if it's
They might
uncertain,
tie this bitch up.
yeah, they might straight snap out.
Right.
We ain't getting justice. So I applaud those young people for staying in the street, because it's a straight power to the people kind of situation.
I got one more question before I know we're on time, but what about the young man in South Carolina when the white guy just came up to him harassing him and his wife was filming and all the black people showed up and stuff? We have to do more of that.
We got to show. I don't remember that.
It just happened. You know what I'm saying? With the dude was walking,
Yeah, he
and
was
the
a
white dude
military
was.
officer or
Okay.
something, and he was saying, I ain't never seen you in this neighborhood.
He's like, I live
Oh,
here. What are you
yeah.
talking
The
about?
black.
That's
Dude
what-
was like, you smell drunk.
Right.
Yeah, he was like, "Are you serious?" And the wife is like, "He's not from here." Like the wife was egging it on, and
Yeah, we
but
got to show up for each other. You know
the
what
black
I mean?
folk pulled out that last night. They like, "What's up, bro? You outside, bro? What's happening?" 400 niggas in your driveway. What's happening? We right at your door.
But that's
real.
that. You know, we have to keep building and rebuilding that. You know what I mean? Every generation, we got to find how we vibe stronger with each other and support each other, and because it's our unity. We get united, they're done. We get clear about who we are. Like when we straight up remember who we are and why we're here, they done, because they not it. They so much of it. It's like when you hooping and a dude get in your head and you just like, damn, I can't do nothing because the cat is in your head. White folk are in our head,
Right.
and so we bumbling and stumbling and we can't put it together. But once we just like, man, let me get them out of my head and just play my game, they can't get close to us in terms of what we can do. They don't get close.
Put that on the track. That part, that last.
Ah.
Put that on the beat.
gonna run
All
it.
that, what you
We
just
gonna
said,
run it.
that was hard right there.
So,
Hey,
man, thank
play
y'all,
your
brothers,
game.
man.
Get him out
Yes,
of
sir. Is it that
Thank you for
time,
pulling
brother?
up, man. Yeah, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, so we like to end the shows with a segment we call Secret Genius Life Coach. We give the people some words of wisdom. Get through the week, get to the next episode. I am Kamal, the Secret Genius. The words of the week are this: you might not be as good as you plan to be. So stop planning and get to doing, man. Because if you start, there's only two things that can happen. You can realize that you're good, or you can realize that you suck. If you suck, that's time you spend planning, you can spend getting better. And if you're good, you can still get better. But you might not be as good as you plan to be, man. So at a certain point, you got to stop planning and start doing. That's all I got.
That's real. Come on, man.
Well,
Do something.
Refreshing. That was that was your whole Today Bro commercial. That was Today Bro.
That was it.
Yeah, I done gave this nigga 4 Today Bro commercials. He can't
on,
ever
Today
he
Bro.
can't ever say them right. He can't ever get them out right.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? I got a Euro step. A vernacular Euro step. You feel me?
You had a twist in your eyeball. That's what happened. You had
More Than Culture is the brand. This is the podcast.
Don't you do me.
This is the More Than Culture show. Kamal, the Secret Genius, Reemo Rod, Tyler Chronicles, Ronnie Jordan, special guest host Clayton English,
Yay.
special guest Miley Davis.
Yes, sir.
We out.
this is great.
Dope.
Yeah.